teach you how to repaint your rusty old motorcycle exhaust, starting with the removal of the exhaust from the motorcycle, and then removing the rust from the exhaust with a couple different methods.
Doing its job.
I'm also going to show you how to prepare the surface of the exhaust so that it looks nice and smooth while it's painted, and what kind of paint to use depending on the part of the exhaust that you're painting. I'm also going to show you how to clear coat the exhaust and as well. Just check out that nice finished product. So much better than this. Let's get right into it.
If this has enough oomph to get those out, gonna need an extension for sure. There we go, got one. There we go. All of the nuts are off. The headers. Luckily, none of those head studs snapped or stripped off. That would have made that incredibly more difficult. You just have to remove bolt from this clamp at the bottom. Hopefully those come out easy. Yeah. Came out pretty easy. Now this header should just come right off. Oh yeah, it's moving. There you go. We got one of them. They're all separate, I guess. Number 2's out. Alright. There's all the headers removed. Now, if this muffler comes off easy, I'm gonna pull it off and repaint it. Looks like there's 3 nuts holding it on. Right outside the turbo there. Let's see if we can get those off. That one's in there pretty dang tight. It's a little too much for my little impact. Back to basics here. I got one of the bolts and the other 2 are Allen heads and they've already stripped out. Okay, it's actually looking kind of promising. I've got 2 of the bolts out now. What the heck? That is a weird nut, I guess. Threaded and then Allen insert on that side. And now we're just left with one stripped out Allen head bolt. For that, I'm going to try this extractor here. There it is. You can see I finally freaking got it with the biggest extractor I had. I had to drill the bolt out a bit, but we got it. There's just one hanger bolt holding it on. It's the same one that holds the foot peg on. I think that's it now. Get the center stand out of the way. Oh yeah, we got it. We got the muffler off. I'm glad I pulled this thing off because it's definitely more rusty on this side. This thing definitely needs to be repainted. And now I can actually see the turbo, the tiny little turbo turbine. I can actually see it now. Itty little turbine there. Let's check the play. Oh, it spins really freely. It does have a tiny little bit of shaft play, as you can see there, but nothing crazy. Spins really nice. That's turbine's good to go. Turbo does not need to be rebuilt. Now it's time to remove all of the rust and whatever paint comes off with the wire wheel on my angle grinder. Here we go. got about 90% of the rust removed from the headers in the exhaust pipe. Now I'm going to give these a quick sand with some 240 grit sandpaper and then some 400 grit to prepare the surface. Despite my best efforts, I could not remove all the rust from these headers, so for the rest, I'm using rust dissolver. Oh yeah, you can see the acid bubbling up, doing its job, cleaning up that metal. Heck yeah. Okay, it's the next day. I ended up just leaving the exhaust pipes in the soup overnight because I thought it couldn't hurt. And yeah, I mean, this stuff coming out looking really nice and shiny. I'm gonna take it out, let it dry off for a little. I do not see any more rust on these headers or anything. These look really good. I'm going to give these a little wipe. Okay, now I'm going to let this stuff just air dry a little bit the rest of the way. Then we'll hit it with the wire brush again just to get any loose deposits off. And then we'll be ready for paint. Really windy outside today, so I'm going to be painting everything inside my shed. This is my little makeshift paint booth. I've got the muffler hanging up already. I'm going to give it a quick wipe with some denatured alcohol and a brand new microfiber cloth. We'll get it cleaned up, let it dry, and then hit it with some paint. It's been about 10 minutes. The muffler's totally dry. I'm using this Rust-Oleum engine enamel, good for up to 600 degrees Fahrenheit, gloss black, chemical resistant. Here we go. I'm going to start out with just one nice light thin coat and let it dry and then do another. Okay, that's good for the first coat. I'm going to let that dry. And I'm going to wipe these down as well. Time for a second coat on the muffler. It's been about 10 minutes. It's already dry to the top. Okay, that's good. Going to let that dry. Do a third final coat. For the headers, I'm using this VHT flame-proof, very high temperature header paint. This is good for up to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Ceramic coating, this is good stuff. I've used this before. Here we go, one nice light coat for the first one.
This type of paint, you're supposed to actually bake it to get the chemical resistance after it's dried, but since it's an exhaust, the heat from the engine will do the baking.
Okay, that'll do for a first coat. Now I'm going to do one final finish coat on the muffler.
muffler's looking really good, nice and shiny. Now I'm just going to let that set up. We'll hit it with clear coat. Now it's time for the clear coat. For the headers, I'm using this flame-proof satin clear. They don't make it in a gloss because high heat stuff, when it gets that hot, it satins out anyways. So satin's as good as I'm going to get here. We'll start out with one light, thin coat. Okay, now it's time to clear coat the muffler, and I'm using Rust-Oleum Gloss Clear Engine Enamel. Time for the final coat of clear on the muffler.